Big Balls Bob. Not to be confused with Tiny Balls Todd.
I do have a body. It's very fantastic. More of a temple, really, than a body.
I can't tell if he's doing a bit or not.
I'm glad you brought that point up because
Todd's a pussy.
It's right next to Todd's OnlyFans.
It's on the internet.
Yeah, Todd's not dumb. I tried to get in a high honest English class once, and they called my parents and were like, hey, just tell him he can't do it.
It shows. It really shows. I'm a dumbass, and I'm sorry.
The first time you've been let out of mom's basement, right?
Oh, no, I'm still in mom's basement, actually.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show. And welcome in, Green Bay Packer fans. How are we doing today with the second Victory Wednesday in a row? This time, maybe even a little bit sweeter than week number 2, coming off of a win over future People's Court, Divorce Court star Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Your Packers are 2-1. Heading into week 4, welcoming in the Patriots this week to Lambeau Field. I'm your bartender, Dan Connick, and we are here to discuss all of that right here, along with a load of other nonsense and crap. To do that, I've got my two good buddies here to do that with me. First, going to welcome in this guy, Jimmy Christensen. Jimmy, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm great. That game took years off my life, but I'm happy we left with the W. That's really all I care about. Don't care how ugly it was. We're 2-1. I'm pumped.
Damn right. I honestly, I literally sat there as the 2-point conversion was happening, and I finished my beer, and I said, they better stop this, because if they go to overtime, I will need to open another beer. And I was not ready to do that yet. And so shout out to Devondre Campbell for saving me a beer on Sunday. Let's get this guy in here as well. See how many years they took off of him, the Packers. Todd, how many years? What, 5, 10, 15?
No years were taken off my life. However, my apartment has never been cleaner. I anxious cleaned the entire second half. My countertops got scrubbed twice. I cleaned them with something, and then my sister got me this like stone cleaner when they put new countertops in this place for me. So I used that for the first time. I was unaware that there were different types of cleaning sprays needed for different surfaces. I thought all-purpose worked just across the board. Apparently not. I'm finding that out. So,
do you have like medieval stone countertops? Is what you're saying?
No, I mean they're nice granite ones that the complex put in for me when I was in Montana. So I appreciate that. I didn't know that was happening.
Just came back to just.
Yeah, it was like late one night when I was out there. I was like going through my email and I saw one from my building, and I was like, "What is this?" And they were like, "Hey, if you could have like your countertops cleaned off tomorrow and everything out from underneath your sink, we're putting in new countertops." And I was like, "Oh, this email's from 3 days ago." Not even going to give them a heads up that I can't do any of that because I'm not there. So, yeah, I came back from vacation and it was done. Whole new.
Yeah, this is the biggest. Oh, okay. We'll throw.
No, sorry. I want to see this one.
Yeah.
We should have Todd go to your house for a game and just have you freak out at him and Kelsey while they're cleaning during the game.
I'll just come over, watch the game with Kelsey. Dan, you and Howie can go somewhere and watch the game, and we'll it'll be like a brand new home when you get back.
That sounds fantastic to me. I get to watch the game and my house gets cleaned.
Yeah, totally.
And
trust your wife with Todd by himself.
Yeah, we're gonna clean it, Dan. It's fine.
Clean. I don't want to make jokes about that. It makes me very uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh.
Can we make the joke about Jimmy's wife so I can feel comfortable making the jokes I wanted to make?
Yeah, don't joke about my girl dads like that.
Yeah, there's nothing to joke about their true love.
Guys, obviously we have a lot to talk about with this Bucs win this past Sunday and another game this week. Before we jump into all of the Packers talk, big news dropping today from Game On Wisconsin and your friends here at Lombardi's Bar, we have officially posted the list of all of the nominated bars for the 2022 Best Packer Bar in America contest. Again, we are looking for, just like we did last year, the best Packer bar in the country. Make a trip out there, do a bunch of cool stuff. Pickett is in the chat. He can tell you just how freaking cool it is to have us come out. But the link is live now on the Game On Wisconsin websites. The link, you want me to throw that in the chat, Todd? You want to throw that in the chat? What do you want?
You got it.
I got it. You can hear me in the background with the mouse, copy and pasting in here.
We need producer Nick back so bad.
We need Nick back here really badly.
Yeah.
But the form to vote is in the chat. Like I said, I mean, we've got a whole list of. I literally was like going back through the list again. I was putting the website together, and I was like, yeah, I'd be cool with this. I'd be cool going here. I'd be cool going here. Like literally, there are so many of these cool bars that I hope we do the show for like another 20 years so that we get to go to. It sounds so corny when I say it like that. I just want an excuse to go to all these fucking bars. So someone vote, just go on, vote, get us one so we can go do this shit again.
The chances are that all three of us are alive in 20 years. I'm going to guess are pretty slim. So let's go to as many as we can right now.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah. I mean, look at the three of them.
Look, I mean, not only that, the internet's a fad. It's going to be gone in 20 years.
It'll be gone.
Yeah.
Let's more so than us being around, bars and society in general being around in 20 years, I think is a pretty big assumption.
Do we have a date for the Max bar? Do we decide on that?
Do we want to officially say this yet? Are we set in stone? Have we
I knew there was something we forgot to talk about pre-show, but yeah, it works for me.
Works for me.
I'm like 70-80% there. So that's about as good as I'm gonna get.
Kelsey, we need
Kelsey's
Dan.
probably in the chat. She can confirm or
Yeah, Kelsey,
outright.
Does Dan have plans on December 4th?
Because if not, we're going to Max.
We're going to Max, December 4th. Packers, Bears. That's good. I mean, that's the game they told us to come down for.
It is. And
we know there's
happens to be the only weekend that works for all of us.
Right.
And there's one Bears fan that's in that area because he showed up last party. So maybe he'll be there again. Rekindle our love with him.
He didn't want the beads. That was weird.
And as much as I am looking forward to Max, I'm really hoping one of these places out in Denver gets the vote for this year as well. Because yes. Wendy has ever since this started last year has been promising a lot. She's been hyping up the Denver Packer bars a lot. And so I really hope they can live up to the hype. Peter, welcome into the bar, sir.
Peter, everyone's on YouTube. You're gonna want to go watch it
YouTube
there. I don't think there's anybody in the Facebook chat besides Peter right now. So
appreciate it, Peter.
But we're happy to have you at the bar.
Yeah, good to have you anywhere. But if you want to see what's happening in the chat, that's where it's popping.
Yeah,
that's where the cool kids are.
I sort of forget that everybody doesn't have a chat scroll on the side of the screen of everybody from all the stuff here. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's talk about this game this past week.
Let's.
Jesus Christ. Just absolute. I don't know. Was that a shit show or was it just what do you call that? What's a word? Give me a word to describe Sunday, Jimmy.
Defense.
Defense. Okay.
I don't think you can call it a shit show if you have a unit of your team, 2 units of the team, really playing at such a high level. Like you can't. The offense, great 3 drives until the last play of the third one. And then the defense was great all game until the last drive. It turned into, we'll get into that in a little bit, but I thought, defense would be the way I describe that game.
Todd, what's your word? What's the word you would use to describe this?
A win. Look, there's no such thing as a bad win. I
No.
don't care what you're playing, especially when you're going against one of the top teams in the NFC, one of the top defenses in the NFL. A win's a win. We'll take what we get. Yeah, I think part of the reason going into that game, if we were told Packers are going to win 14-12, everyone would have been like, okay, cool. The reason people are upset is because it started off looking like it was going to be a blowout. The offense was clicking, everything was working, and then it stalled out after the Aaron Jones fumble, which dude got crushed by Vay. What is he doing in coverage?
Yeah, he should have been
Time
somewhere
out.
else.
What's his name?
Just let him have it. Just let him have it.
I didn't get it right. That's fine. I've
Vita
called
Vea?
people worse. Yeah, Vita Vea. That's what I said. Run the tape.
No, you said
You
Via
said Vive.
Via.
Oh,
Vive.
sorry for pronouncing it so confidently that it came out fast. Next time I'm unsure of a name, I'll say it nice and slow so you two knuckleheads can figure it out.
Or just like Google
nice
it.
and slow so you pronounce it correctly.
I'm not going to Google it in the middle of a sentence. I wasn't going to talk about him. I don't know what I'm saying when I start talking, Jimmy. What makes you think I would fucking Google anything?
Good point, honestly.
It was a win, and I'll take it.
It was
I
a
don't know,
win.
Dan. What do you want from me?
I don't know. I guess that. JJ, I'll see you in a week, buddy. First pint's on me. Be making the trip over to London next week. Todd does not need.
These guys.
No,
got
okay,
it.
but
They
he's
got
not. But here's the thing. Todd mispronouncing his name is literally the opposite of facts because his name isn't Vinny.
I swear to God,
or
if
whatever
either of
he
you
said.
mispronounce anything,
I stopped. I said good point and I stopped. Don't bring me into this. I'm just sitting here.
no, I don't like it. Jimmy? Where's the at? Where's the at signal or symbol? Come on, get it together. And your name.
Oh, my name's not. I don't.
Yeah, see? Oh, what an idiot. Let's all laugh at Jimmy for being a moron. Why don't you Google that?
I stopped.
I was
And
having
you
a nice
said,
day.
good
I gotta
point
quit
to you.
doing this shit.
All
I
right.
was having a-
Anyways, Dan, what would you use to describe this game
A
besides
show.
shit
You
show?
said it already.
I know, besides shit
Schmoobly
show.
gong.
What?
Schmoobly gong.
Oh my God. Let's get to the next part. I'm gonna fucking jump in front of the bus.
Todd, would you care to do the honors and lead us off with buy around today?
No, I'm gonna hold up just because you guys have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
All you put in our description is
Stop.
No, wait, Jimmy,
Stop.
wait. We'll talk about what it says
Okay.
in the script when we get there
All
because I want this. I really want to dissect this and break this down.
all right.
Jimmy,
well, that's-
why don't you start? Who are you buying around for?
I'm going with Alan Lazard. Not only because he's an incredible player, but that last game, people are putting on Twitter, or they say this a lot for football players, like, oh, they played angry. Like that's football. Everyone's kind of angry. Homeboy was on a different level. Like he was leveling people in pass block. That Randall Cobb catch, he came in out of nowhere and just decked Homeboy.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
yeah.
nice.
It was beautiful. He's the reason Dobbs, friend of the show, got his first touchdown. He had another one where he just knocked Davis on his ass. Probably didn't really have to because they weren't really that close to the play, but kind of just did it anyways,
Yeah,
which I
no, that was a
loved.
good one. Love that.
Just Alan Lazard, man. He is. Rodgers was praising him on the McAfee show. He does all the dirty work, doesn't show up on stats, but from his story of going from cut from the Jaguars to being the number one wide receiver on the Packers, like crazy story. The guy does the sexy things like scoring a touchdown like he did, as well as just knocking people on their ass. So Alan Lazard, I'll buy you all the rounds you want.
Yeah, that's the thing about Alan Lazard. You talk about a guy that has bought into the Packer offense, the Packer way, Alan Lazard.
Well, and it's great
I mean,
to have him there with this younger group too, to instill that in them of like, hey, I'm out here as the number one receiver. Also, this is part of the job.
Right. Yeah,
I guess-
that's exactly right. ahead, Jim.
Rodgers mentioned too, they didn't know if they were going to put him at tight end or wide receiver. And I think they made the correct choice because he really is like, he's both for the Packers. Like you see him inside blocking, you see him outside blocking people on their ass. He had that slot fade route. Like it's not often you have someone that can play tight end, play outside receiver and slot receiver. Like he really is a unique player.
The one knock you could give Alan Lazard is that, I mean, just
Why do you always got to find something negative to talk about?
That unsportsmanlike holding call that he had, guys. I mean, there's no place for that in the game these days. You know,
just trying to hug him.
You can't be barely touching somebody, their jersey from behind. Like that's 10 yards easy, you guys.
I think it's one of those things where like if he made contact, for sure holding. But the fact that it was one of those things where the rest was like, oh, he's about to grab him, blew the whistle, and was like,
it was a preemptive blow. It was a preemptive blow. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, so I have to give, I guess I do have to buy a round for friend of the show, Romeo Dobbs, because wide receiver 1 at this point now. Easily. I think you could probably put that to bed by week 4 now. The buy around I really want to get in here though is yes, I've spent all of this money just out of spite.
I've spent spiteful bucks in way worse ways.
Shout out to the Tampa Bay Bucks Jumbotron operator because I still don't quite understand what Rodgers was saying that they caught. They caught that they had what they had run the play clock down the play before on the touchdown and then caught it for the 2-point conversion. I was honestly kind of confused what he said that they exactly saw because I didn't know what are you seeing on the Jumbotron about the play clock?
If you were really that invested in it, Dan, you would have watched the Pat McAfee show.
I don't watch
and heard from Aaron Rodgers himself giving you the information that you so clearly want.
Sure, that's fair.
I mean,
I have nothing to say to that. Yes,
he did. Right. He did literally go over all of that on the show.
Okay. What's
your thoughts on it? No, let me hear what you think it is. I'm more intrigued on that, honestly.
I don't understand what he saw on the Jumbotron because he made it sound like what they saw was that he ran the play clock down, but like how do they what do they show that on the Jumbotron?
Emma, come on.
No, it was, I guess he said it was a really long answer that was kind of just cut down to that. He just mentioned he saw something during the 2-minute drive that he went and told Matt LaFleur. He said he has no idea if it helped the 2-point conversion, if he even told the defense. It's just something he thought he saw during the 2-minute drive that he told Matt LaFleur about. But it doesn't seem like it had that much of an effect. Because he even said too, if they know what's going to happen, you still have to execute. Right. And Devondre had to jump 20,000 feet just to get there. So
I think here's my thing back with that one more time. I don't think that should have been called delay of game. I think that's a false start. That Leonard Fournette is clearly like he takes like 3 steps around before the play clock even runs down. It should have been a false start. I wanted that more I wanted it more as a false start than a delay of game. Delay of game feels like you kind of got gifted something by the refs. I don't know. It feels kind of cheap.
I don't even give a fuck since we won the game. If we lost the game, I'd be for it. I'd be with
you. Oh, yeah. No, that's true. All right, Todd.
I don't know how you guys haven't figured this out, where a question even came from on this. As you mentioned, in the agenda, it says POC.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys in your tiny little feeble brains can't figure out what that means. Me, a guy who has stood behind punters 1,000% week after week. Pat O'Connell, NFC.
That's not his fucking name. Isn't it Pat O'Donnell?
I don't give a shit.
It's Pat O'Donnell. You dumb fuck.
Got it.
Part of me initially thought, I'm like, is he making a punter joke here? But then I was like, but it's not
I honestly-
initials are POC.
Look, I was talking to my stepdad about this today, and I said I was gonna make him my guy for buy round, and I said I might even get his name right.
No, clearly fucking not, man.
So yeah, no, okay. Well, sorry about it, Pat O'Donnell. You're not getting one. Pat O'Connell, if you're out there, come on in. I got you. Don't know what you did.
Somewhere in like the foothills of Montana or something, there's a guy that's like just coming in from like the ranch, and his kids are up like, Dad, you just got bought around at Lombardi's bar.
Yep. At the fictional bar on the internet, Dad, you get a free drink.
Bam.
Come on in.
But yeah,
So yeah, good
Pat
job.
O'Donnell,
Yeah,
great job.
O'Donnell, that's his name. Yeah, hell of a job. Really,
My favorite-
really making punters proud out there, doing me a solid. I've been like, I can't tell you guys enough every week how
You're Mr.
important
Punter.
and crucial punters are to the game.
Mhm.
And to see him utilize as much as he was, 7 punts in one game. Oh, it was like a wet dream. They just kept running punters out there, just nonstop. It was incredible.
I
What a
can't
game.
wait until next week when you also get his name wrong, because I know this is not the first. This is not going to be the last time. You're going to call him probably Matt next week.
We need to have. This is where we need Nick. We need Nick at least watching the game, at least watching the shows each week, because we need to keep track of all the different names that Todd gives Pat O'Donnell.
The worst is I was very confident that I had it right.
I want a smash cut. I want a smash cut at the end of the year of all of the names Todd has given the punter this year.
I really thought, like, I was like, what? I thought you were going to give him like a nickname at the end, like Pat O'Donnell, something with a C.
That's what I thought I thought you were gonna like lead into like a very clever joke about what POC stood for.
No, us with our feeble brains couldn't guess
brains.
that he was.
I don't know how you
up
morons
somebody's
didn't get
name.
it.
Matt Pickett in the chat initially guessed both of me and Jimmy's answers. I guessed piece of crap. Jimmy guessed person of color.
Which I was confused what we were doing.
I was like, that's exactly why we had no idea how to lead into this.
Hold on.
Top.
However, Pickett does bring up a good point here. He could start a spreadsheet. We need to add him
for free.
We need to add him into our group chat for all of the times I say Dan should have a spreadsheet started for this.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Why am I catching a stray here?
You're not. You're 1,000% not. It's usually just in the midst of Jimmy and I having a conversation between the two of us in the group chat. And I'm like, you know what? This is like the third idea we've had along these lines. There should be a spreadsheet. Let me charge Dan with doing that. I noticed you haven't, and I can't tell you what.
I don't know what you're. I don't know.
I don't know what's supposed to be on any of them because there's not one, and I forget everything. So
that's good delegating, though, Todd.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Look, I'm busy making all these sick memes, guys. I can't fucking do everything. That's true.
Yes, the meme.
I feel like we all had a good one this week, though. Each one of us had a good one.
We did.
Good for us. Let's buy ourselves around.
Hell yeah, guys. Great job, social media. And while we're talking about social media and Twitter, be sure to get out there and follow us, guys. Because thank you. I paused for a compliment on that.
Yeah, I got you. I knew.
So we do have a little bit of an update here in our chase to 1,000 followers on Twitter. Not only do we have this sick hat that just came in that we're giving away, we will also be giving away a Preston Smith jersey with it when we reach 1,000 followers. However, we had a chat today and we decided, you know what? A jersey is cool, but you know what's cooler? An autograph jersey. So we've got an autograph Preston Smith jersey that's going to be given away with this hat from Regency. So follow, retweet it, come in here, drop your in the chat during shows to get additional entries for it. And we will announce the winner the show after we hit 1,000. So,
and there's no way any of us can win.
There's not, because I'm not. I don't follow us.
Why would you? Yeah.
Honestly, the account.
But everybody else create
the shit posting is all that account does.
Create a fake Twitter for your dog and have him follow us.
Well,
like anything you can possibly
or just
do
tell your friends who are real people
them too
that would do it.
I'd rather have dog fans.
Yeah. All right, let's turn the corner here. Let's pay the tab. Todd, who needs to pay the tab this week?
So I will be heading back to Lambeau this weekend for the game, and we talked about it going into last season, which was the down in front crowd at Lambeau. And last year they weren't bad. Everybody was pretty excited to be back in the stadium after not very many fans there in 2020. People were cool with standing. I will tell you, after the home opener, that crowd is back. They would like you to stay seated
with a vengeance
all of the time. Standing up and screaming on a big third down, you better not, because I can't see the entirety of the surface, whether that's in play or not. So they need to pay the tab this week. I plan on standing quite a bit. It's going to happen. So I'm ready. I've been drinking tea all week. I'm getting these vocal cords ready. I'm taking cough drops with me. I'm going to yell at some old people. It's going to happen. I don't give a fuck.
Be careful because
they'll fuck you up.
On if you follow any of the Packer group on Twitter there, Corey from I believe he does the Sampler Pack podcast. I don't know if he's still active with that or not. But posted about last week, went to the Bears game, the home opener, and had somebody behind him yelling at him a couple times to sit the F down, and eventually near the end of the game headbutted Corey right in the nose. People suck. Those people are the absolute worst. I honestly, Todd is very correct. They are the worst. They are the worst group of people in the
kid sitting just down from me. Had somebody come up behind him and tell him that he needed to sit down because they couldn't see. And he said, "If you sit down, then I can see." While everyone in front of him is standing. It was the last play of the fucking game. They were taking a knee. And this old boy is pissed off that we're standing. Like, what? Why did you're going to stand up in 3 seconds and walk out of here anyways. What are you doing? So
I've said it before and I'll say it again. We need a calling of call the week from the chaff in terms of season ticket holders. We need to get some fresh blood in there. Lambeau has become much too friendly.
What I don't understand is why are these season ticket holders grandkids not just stealing these tickets from them? My grandma Joan doesn't have any, so if she's watching, what up, Grandma? I would never do this to you anyways, but just take them from them and go to the game instead. It doesn't make sense. It's a Sunday, especially it's a Sunday night. Why are you out of the house? It's almost 10 o'clock.
That's a good point. Fucking take them, but don't tell them you take them. So they try to go to the game, and they can't get in because you stole their tickets.
Who gave them a smartphone?
That's okay. That's the thing. I thought
you got to have a smartphone to get in.
Lot more of the terrible crowd than it did.
It didn't.
It didn't. It really fucking didn't.
They use the off season to figure out how to use tickets on a smartphone, and they're back.
Learning.
Just
they're evolving. The boomers are evolving.
Treat them like it's Planet of the Apes. We're like
the new classes at the elderly homes.
They've started to use Twitter. God. Jimmy, what about you? Who needs to pay the tab?
It has to be the defense just on that final drive. Like the whole game, they were so good. And that final drive, not only like them playing softer coverage doesn't really bother me as much. The thing that really pissed me off during the game was their communication during that was rough. Like they had 2 times where they just let Leonard Fournette out of the backfield, catch the ball like 7 yards downfield and then gain more after the first down. Like there's one time Quay Walker blitzed when he was supposed to be in coverage. Another time the corners didn't really know what the fuck they were supposed to be doing, and just have such a great game like that. And then at the end, your biggest mistake is just your communication. Just drove me nuts. But besides that, there wasn't too many pay the tabs for me, so I had to do the obvious one.
Yeah, I mean, damn them on that final drive for coming up with a big stop there to win the game.
That part was great. The rest of it, where they miscommunicated, was frustrating because that's not a skill thing. They have talent. They just had brain.
Well, and you would think if after playing 2/3 of the second half in that heat because the offense was doing nothing, that their communication.
Well, I'm so sorry. Let me yell
tired.
at old
like
people.
they should have been ready to go. I don't know what the problem
Yeah, let's go back to fucking yelling at grandma and grandpa's going to the game. Let's do that because that's
okay.
Cool.
Let's do it. I'm not fucking done.
I'm so sorry for talking about the defense, Todd.
Jimmy, I appreciate you putting the @ in your name there.
Yeah, I fixed it after you scolded me.
Really cleared stuff up for me. Thank you.
It's called growth.
Dan, pay the fucking tab.
The fucking refs, man.
Thank you.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ.
They were hot. They just had the whole game in the heat.
The fact that literally this entire game.
I thought you were removing me.
I was good.
Once I saw your hand, that's what I said. I was like, I'm out.
But the fact that this entire game almost could have come down to a bullshit running into the kicker play or call.
Yeah.
Because if that call isn't made, the Packers are pretty much almost already in field goal range because they were at the 36, 35, somewhere around there. So you're right on the edge already. You make it a 2-score game at that point in the game. Now, if your defense plays the way that they do, it doesn't even matter. The final drive doesn't even matter at that point. But now, because of that, it switched the field position up so drastically, and then it basically gave the Bucks the chance to come down, kick the field goal, and make it a 1-score game at that point. If the Packers end up losing this game, calls specifically like that, which are blatantly wrong, those are the ones that referees. Those are the ones that referees need to be held accountable about. And on top of that, I forget who. I think somebody in the chat here is the one that I remember posting it. But whoever on Twitter posted that montage of the 20 times that Rashawn Gary was in a chokehold, and I don't think once got a holding call on him. Everyone talked about how Brady was getting the ball out so quickly and had all the time in the world to throw the ball when he did. There was a hold on maybe every third play in that game, because you can't tell me that guys like Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, and Rashawn Gary against third string offensive linemen are not getting any more pressure than they were without calls being made like that. So the refereeing as a whole, awful.
Well, even on Kenny Clark's second sack that they gave him, they show that Jerron Reed where they literally he's being hugged from behind by one person and then the other player's grabbing his jersey, just being held by 2 different players and still pretty much gets a sack. There were some definite weird no calls in that, but they probably just felt bad because they were on their second and third stringers on the offensive line and they were getting fucked even though they were holding every play. So the refs they have a heart. They felt bad for him.
I don't feel bad. I wanted Tom Brady to feel immense pain the entire game, and he barely got any of that.
Speaking of Kenny Clark's sack,
ding ding ding.
We're going broke if he keeps this shit up now.
Yeah.
Dan, you're no longer allowed to yell at him on the show. 2 a week? Come on.
Lost a quick 50 yesterday or on Sunday, and I did not like it.
I was like, okay, we got 1. That's cool. No big. Oh, we're gonna do it again. Great.
Two, okay. But you can still join us as part of the Kenny Clark Sackathon Yes, Matt, we are talking about Kenny Clark's sack. You can still join in. If you join in before this Sunday, sign up to join in with us to donate to Kenny Clark's charity for every sack that he is able to get this year. We're at 2 already on the season. Donate a sum of money for every sack that Kenny Clark pulls in. You sign up before Sunday in the link right there in the chat. You'll be entered in for the chance to win the Kenny Clark autographed jersey at the end of the year as well. So win all the way around. Wins for everybody except Tom Brady on the field and in the courtroom. Bam.
Todd's really loving this whole divorce thing. Or Dan is, sorry, Todd.
I am. I'm loving this. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? This is
Todd was liking it just for the Giselle side of it. Dan's liking it because he hates
Look,
Tom Brady.
I hate to see a happy home broken up. As a child
was it a
of
happy
divorce-
home though? Was it a happy home?
I'm just saying, as a
Because
child of divorce, I never want to
I don't
see
know.
anybody go through this. Regardless,
I'm
of
also
who
a
it is.
child of divorce,
and I think
I learned early on to really relish in the Schadenfreude of other people's misery to make me feel better about my own situation.
My parents
So-
love each other, so
your mom loves me.
There's no way that was a happy relationship because Tom Brady is a sociopath. And they're incapable of love and feelings.
I like Tom Brady since he went to the Buccaneers, so I don't know. And I have a firm thing of not caring about Aaron Rodgers'
Well,
relationship.
a lot of people love Jeffrey
can't do it
Dahmer
the other way.
apparently too. So
People overreacted for sure.
Where the fuck did that come from?
let's get
both
to the next part.
sociopaths. Love sociopaths.
Clip Dan comparing Tom Brady to Dahmer. This is
Second week in a row. Applications, we are taking them. Need a new bartender.
I should probably
Hey.
check that email one of these days.
Hey Todd, who
Yeah.
forced the fumble on Aaron Jones?
You know, double V.
That's good, yeah.
Nailed it.
All right. Let's
yeah,
bring
go
in
ahead.
our guest this week. She's here back again because she has atoned for her sins previously. We've broken the Sammy curse. What is so funny?
The face she's making.
I saw the face she was making, and it seemed for a second like it was a "don't bring me on screen" face. So I was waiting to see if something's going to come up in the private chat, but I didn't. So I've been moving forward with it. She says, "Bring it on." Sam, welcome back. How you doing?
I'm great. I feel good.
How do you feel about breaking your Lombardi's bar curse?
I am going to take credit for them breaking the Florida curse because I once again was correct about the game.
She was.
I was.
2 times in a row.
You guys are welcome.
That's true. You have been an expert prognosticator.
Whatever that means.
Okay, I want to ask you, Sam. At the beginning of the show, I asked Jimmy and Todd one word to describe Sunday's game. A single word.
This past Sunday or this upcoming
This
Sunday?
past Sunday.
Oh, one word to describe it. Is it one word if it's hyphenated?
Yeah.
Nail
you-
biter.
There you go.
Okay. A little on the nose, but accurate. Yeah,
That's what it was.
that's true. Yes, it is just as accurate as Todd saying "win." So yes.
Good work, Todd.
Dan asked for a word, and then it's too accurate. And he's like, oh, a little too on the nose for my liking.
As
Well,
Dan
it's
goes
like-
with shit show.
Yeah.
I did not say shit show. My word was schmoobly.
I wish it was shit show at that point if you're going to go with that word.
Well, it's like a Rorschach test of holding up like a ink blot, and everyone's like, it looks like a club.
Do you have a dictionary next to you right now?
No,
You're like,
a thesaurus.
you're saying some words, buddy.
It's a Rorschach.
Schmoogle
test.
was the one that got you, wasn't it? That's what started it.
Schmoobly is not a word.
No, but schmoogeldom, like Todd said, sure is.
But what Todd said.
Oh, sorry, I fucking mispronounced that one too, you dicks. Sam, it's
I
great to
was-
have you on. Let's talk about the Patriots this week. Should we? Any injury updates with that team?
Mac Jones is allegedly questionable, but that's not true.
Like
What,
he's
questionable if he's going to be watching on the couch or in the recliner.
Yes. Yeah, they're saying he's made amazing progress in the last 48 hours, so I can only imagine what drugs he's being pumped with.
If he
But-
makes a comeback after the pure just pain and yelling in his face on the way to the locker room,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the new Paul Pierce meme.
I
Where
was
they
about
like
to say
carry
that's
him
the
out
Paul
and then
Pierce.
he plays again.
But Paul Pierce he doo-dooed in his pants.
yeah, he shit
Yeah.
himself.
And he also
Wait,
won-
time
he
out.
also
Did he
won a
really
ring.
shit himself?
Yeah, what?
Probably.
Yeah,
he
that's-
absolutely did. I
Yeah.
believe he like.
I'm a hand to God Celtics fan, and Paul Pierce shit his pants.
You're a
at the
poop
Garden.
truther.
I'm a poop truther. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he all but admitted it like 2 years ago that he
yeah.
shit
He's
himself.
become very candid in his later years, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's been confirmed.
Look at
that
me
was-
educating Jimmy on the NBA.
Paul Pierce, sorry, I googled did Paul Pierce shit himself. First thing that popped up. Paul Pierce pooped his pants in an NBA Finals game.
Yeah. They
Who
took
knew?
him out in the wheelchair and everything.
I hope you're on a work computer.
Not the worst
Rest
thing
in
I've
peace.
googled on a work computer.
Here's
Rest
the
in
thing,
peace,
like-
Jimmy's algorithm.
Mac Jones isn't exactly athletic the way it is, let alone
Yeah.
like there's no way he's going to be even close to 100% and being
No.
able to move around the little bit that he normally. Then again, we watched Tom Brady just run away from this
Well,
defense.
I
too,
was
so.
gonna
He's
say
stuck under.
I was gonna say, what was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when Dwayne Haskins and the Washington football team or whatever they were called back then came in, and he was literally playing on one leg, like could not move, and the Packers were apparently unable. Was that who was Baldy? Who was the defensive coordinator that we all hated? Names.
all of them.
Papers.
No, you struggle.
Browns coach.
The one guy.
Mike Pett. Yeah,
Mike Pett.
That guy.
Mike Pettin couldn't figure out a way to organize a defense or a blitz that could somehow sack a one-legged quarterback. So
There's nothing Dan loves more than living in the past besides negativity. So when he can combine previous
It's how I
negative
relive my trauma every
experiences,
day.
it's incredible.
It's how I deal with you relive your trauma every day.
I couldn't tell
Cheaper than
you
therapy.
like the last time we played whatever the Washington organization is under any nickname, like I don't know, 12 years ago maybe. Dan knows exactly when it was and remembers the negative aspects of it. So thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Work with your therapist. Let's start unpacking some of this trauma.
All right. Are we
Sam-
worried at all about Brian Hoyer? Is my question. We saw Cooper
here's
Rush
the
come in.
thing. Here's the thing. Let's not talk about Cooper Rush. He sucks.
Wait, where did Cooper Rush come from?
I was gonna say Cooper Rush came in for Dallas.
Oh, okay.
backup.
Quarterbacks,
Played well.
Okay,
No.
I didn't hear. Okay.
Can we
Thanks,
put a little
Sam.
bit of respect on Brian Hoyer though? Practice squad fantasy
Legend.
MVP
Legend.
and
so
legend.
with
Hall of
Brian
Famer.
Hoyer in at quarterback and with the rest of the Patriots roster, this is a game on paper that the Packers should win by like 20 points. However, we've seen them come into games that they should win by 20 points. The game that comes to mind is against the Chargers, I think 2018, 2019. They just like completely shit the bed and didn't look like themselves. I'm worried that could happen this week. I don't think it will, but it could happen. I think people need to like be wary of Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer's not good, but I mean, they could be, I don't know, they could be surprised if they don't come
Belichick
in with
is
100%. Yeah, it's all Belichick. It is.
But that's the thing. Like you said, the Packers are notorious under LaFleur of they play to their competition. And I don't like that Todd's smiling, but they play to their competition. So like when they play a really good team like we did last week, they step up. The defense plays amazing. When you play really shitty teams, it's usually way closer than it needs to be. Kind of like when we beat the Bears without leading for both those games for a single second. Somehow we pulled that out. We should have fucking demolished the Bears, or not Bears, Lions. Sorry. Yeah, we play down to our competition sometimes. So
Well, and that turnover last week just really like sucked the momentum out of that offense, and it just seems like every time something like that happens, they just don't ever get back in the game.
Do you know
So
who
they need
forced
to
that
come out-
fumble by chance last week?
Who forced the fumble, Todd?
I don't know. I can't say his name. I was hoping someone else would mess it up.
He fucked up the name earlier.
Todd
He
fucked
said,
up the name.
he said
Earlier in the show.
Vea Vea.
I said Vita Vea.
No, you did not, because that's his name. His name is Vita Vea.
His
You
name
said
is Vita Vea.
You're like,
You said
I'm gonna
Vita
play it
Vea.
back. I'm gonna play it.
Vea Vea had a sack.
Yeah, I had it. You guys are idiots.
Okay, let's talk about. So Brian Hoyer, I don't think we're worried about Brian Hoyer.
No.
But like we said, Bill Belichick can make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and he does all the time. What's the matchup we're most looking forward to this week against the Patriots if it's not Brian Hoyer?
If it's not Brian Hoyer, I mean, these Packers wide receivers versus this Patriots secondary. I was looking at the Patriots preview of this game earlier today, and the Patriots seem to think that they have the edge on the Packers wide receivers. I don't know why, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to them being proven wrong. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I was really confused.
Yeah.
But no, I think the Packers pretty much have the edge everywhere else. I don't see there being a huge struggle. I mean, Damian Harris is built kind of like a bowling ball, so he can maybe sneak past the line, but it shouldn't. Barring them having a complete accident, I think everything's going to be fine.
So
Yeah, I mean, Devontae Parker, I would say he's out of the two teams, probably the best wide receiver.
Yeah.
But he's been non-existent for the last 3 weeks.
No, this
And
past
then-
week he went off.
Well, he did.
All
You're
he
right. He
all
did
he
have
needed. All he needed is Brian Hoyer.
Nelson Aguilar has proven he's irrelevant throughout his career. LaJordan Humphrey, not super worried there. Like, yeah, I don't know where anyone's gonna say like they've got a definitive edge there.
Well, no, they have the edge with their secondary.
Secondary.
Over
Yeah.
Packers wide receiver.
Their
Oh,
secondary over our wide receivers.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I wasn't listening.
So who do you think? Who do you think is the receiver that is? So last week was kind of the Romeo Dobbs show.
Yeah.
Cobb did well. Cobb did well too. But who do you think this week is the one that's kind of steps up and makes the biggest impact?
I could see Lazard having a pretty good game. Or, Aaron Rodgers is finally comfortable with Romeo Dobbs. It seems like this last week was his coming out party. He could just be steamrolling through the season.
Yeah. I sure fucking hope so, because they'll break the jersey curse. That's really all I care about. If it leads to wins, great. If it breaks the jersey curse, I'm all for it.
I think Sam is right. I think if anyone breaks out, it's either of the two rookie wide receivers.
Is
Dobbs
Watson playing?
or Watson. Well, I don't know.
He was limited
Limited
today.
practice.
Limited practice. I think with the way this Patriots defense is, I'm not scared of their pass rush like I am the Bucs pass rush. Give Rodgers more time back there. Let stuff matriculate down the field, and just be able to. Oh, you can open up the playbook more against the Patriots, is what I'm saying. So I think that you probably do get a little bit more creative, get some shots down the field. Personally, I'm hoping for. I just found today someone, I forget who posted it, the Packers rookie wide receiver like records.
Oh yeah.
I like Billy Houghton or something like that from the 1950s had like 12 touchdowns and it was like 1,500 yards or something like that. Like in the 50s, like literally the forward pass was like invented 10 years earlier.
I don't think that's true, because MVS has the record for receiving yards by a rookie as a Packer, and it's 581.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna.
You got it.
What an idiot, Dan.
No, I hate to say this, but I saw that same tweet. He had like 50 receptions, 1,200 yards.
As a
12 touchdowns.
rookie?
Yeah.
Is this
What the
maybe?
tweet
Is
said.
this before that was being like counted as a?
Hold on.
Can I? While Dan's looking that up, we have some breaking news, not Packer related.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
Coolio died.
Coolio?
Yeah.
What?
I thought you said Julio. Please
That's what I thought you
enunciate
said.
your words better, Todd.
I knew you said Coolio. Don't listen to them.
Thanks,
Do
Jimmy.
you want me to sing Gangster's Paradise and just remembrance?
Kind of, but no.
The
You
right
sing
words,
Sing
too?
it to me later. Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Coolio wasn't dead already?
He is
Damn.
now.
Damn.
Why would you say that with a smile on your face?
I was just saying, like, I'm awkward telling you, like, he's dead now. R.I.P. Coolio. Damn, Coolio.
Wow.
Well,
Wait,
end the show.
What
Okay.
happened?
What happened to him?
I mean,
Looks like they suspect he suffered a cardiac arrest.
oh, why are
Cause-
you guys
Official cause of death has not been determined.
I'm still looking for the stats.
Okay, well, this is great. Fucking a great show, Dan.
Keep talking about Coolio.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
thought I
thought
saw a
maybe it would take
tweet-
you 2 seconds to find your
I'm
made-up
trying
bullshit
to
stats.
find
You think
tweet
we
I
only
saw
needed 2 seconds
yesterday.
to more?
There was a tweet I saw yesterday that said MVS had the rookie receiving yards record for Packers,
For drops.
581 for drops.
All right. So while Dan looks up this stat, Belichick is known for eliminating offense's best weapons. So what do you think his focus is this week? Like, who is he trying to eliminate this game?
Lazard or Dobbs? Probably. Although, no, Aaron Jones. I think
Yeah.
the Packers last week kind of fell flat again in the running
Dan,
game.
it took me all of 10 seconds and one Google search here.
Todd's not listening at all.
1952,
Just
Billy Houghton
mid-sentence.
had 1,231 yards. James Lofton in 1978 had 818.
Who the hell posted this tweet?
Sterling Sharp had 791 in 88. James Jones in 2007 had 676. Greg Jennings. So we've got
Six, not
Jennings
even
and
close.
Max McGee before we get to MVS.
Maybe the tweet I was looking at was rookies with Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to start tweeting out random stats that are just made up just so you say those on shows from now on. So look out for that, Sam.
Okay,
I'll kill you, Dahmer.
Pickett posted the stuff in the chat. It
I
was
don't read the chat when I'm on this show.
53 receptions, 1,231 yards, and 13 touchdowns, and he did it all in 12 games.
That's amazing.
Not
But
bad.
yeah.
I'm rooting for Dobbs to break it. I want Dobbs to break all the records.
Yeah, I think that one's a little out of reach, but hopefully.
You know what?
All
You know what is within reach? Bar bets.
Thank God. Let's wrap this shit up.
Let's get to some bar bets. Yeah, let's. That went so far off the fucking rails.
Yeah,
Hold on.
because
There's one Packer wide receiver in 1945 that, as a rookie, had, let's see, what do we got here? 283 yards. So he is towards the
Cool.
bottom of this list and 3 touchdowns.
Is it Don Hudson?
Cool.
Clyde Goodnight.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. Anyways, those bar bets, Dan.
Anyways, speaking of friend of the show, Romeo Dobbs, he's averaging right now just about 45 yards a game. Obviously, the breakout this past week really bumped that number up. Romeo Dobbs this week, over under 50 receiving yards for friend of the show, Romeo Dobbs. Sam, we'll start with you.
Over. I think he'll have close to what he had this past weekend. I could see 70 or 80 yards.
Okay. How confident are you? How many Bakhtiaris?
3.
Not as confident. Okay.
Not that confident, but like
Really out on a limb there.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy.
I'm going with Sam. I'm going over. I think he's closer to 100 yards than he is 50. I'm going to go 5 Bakhtiaris.
Okay. All right. Todd, I'll leave this 5 up here for you. How are you going to go?
5 Bakhtiaris. I'm going to take the under this week. For some reason, I feel like they're just going to run the ball a lot.
Okay. I'm going to go. I'll split it. I'll go 4 Bakhtiaris, but I'll agree. I'll say over. I think this ball gets spread around a lot. I think a lot of people eat up a lot of yards, and I think 50 is very achievable for Romeo. The defense, Packers defense, over under 3.5 sacks on Brian Hoyer / Mac Jones / Zippy or whatever the fuck the third string quarterback's name is.
I hope he plays.
What?
He has
What
a
did
really
you
cool
say,
name. I hope he plays.
Oh, it really sounded like you were having trouble with that for a second. All right, let's run through this quick. Todd, over under 3.5 sacks.
I'm going to take the under with 5 Bakhtiaris on this one. Belichick is smart enough to game plan around whoever is standing in the pocket, getting the ball out of their hands before they get sacked 4 times.
Okay, all right. Sam.
Under 5 Bakhtiaris. I agree
Okay.
with everything that Todd said.
So,
Jimmy.
Sorry, Dan, but I'm going same thing. 5 under. If we can only get to Brady a couple times with their shit offensive line, Belichick's going to find a way to not let that happen.
No, I'm sticking with this defense. I spoke out against against Kenny Clark last week. I'm not making the mistake again. 5 Bakhtiaris over. They're going to have to be chucking the ball down the field. They're not going to have time to dink and dunk around. This defense is going to feast. Last one, Aaron Rodgers, over under 2.5 touchdowns. Sam.
Over. He'll get 3. 5
Okay.
Bakhtiaris.
5 Bakhtiaris. Todd.
You good?
5 Bakhtiaris over.
Okay. Jimmy.
I'm going 3 Bakhtiaris under. I think he has it's 2.5. I think he has 2, and then it's just heavy run.
I agree. I agree 100% with Jimmy. 3 Bakhtiaris. I'm going to go under as well. I think the touchdowns.
You guys are confidently in agreement there.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Sam, thank you again for joining us. We always appreciate it. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Samwich, SAMMWICHH. And I'll be on Last Call Lambeau. Comes out on Fridays. Game on Wisconsin. Check it out.
All right. Check out Sam there. You can check out all 3 of us at our Twitters right there on the screen, at Lombardi's Bar on Twitter. Follow the page for all of the giveaways and everything else we talked about during the show today. Follow the site at GameOnWI on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube as well so you get notified every time we go live. For Sam, for Todd, for Jimmy, for producer Nick back home, your bartender Dan Cotnick saying so long. We'll see you next week, and go Pack Go.